Welcome back to the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify, Apple, or Google, please leave a 5-star rating and review. It supports the podcast and it doesn't cost you anything. Today, my NFT collection went for sale, live for sale on the Sologenic marketplace, guys. And these NFTs, as previously mentioned, are minted on the XRP ledger, and they're not just artwork. They have utility. They unlock special benefits and perks for the holders. For example, you can, as a holder, be able to book time with me to talk one-on-one on a Zoom call about whatever you want. It's your agenda. We could talk YouTube, crypto, digital marketing, and much more. You can get access to a exclusive Discord group. You can also get early access to interviews before they're published to everyone else, and also discount codes to events, perks, discounts on merchandise, and much, much more. So if you'd like to learn more and participate, please visit the links in the description. And of course, as a holder, once you own the NFTs, you can resell them for a profit if you want. It's up to you. But once again, they're on the XRP ledger, so pretty fast. It brings utility and much more. Thank you for your support. All right, my friends, some not so good news today. The SEC took another enforcement action. Here's what they tweeted out. Today, we charge crypto asset trading platform Bittrex Incorporated and its co-founder and former CEO, William Shihara, for operating an unregistered national securities exchange broker and clearinghouse. We also charge Bittrex's foreign affiliate, Bittrex Global GmbH, for failing to register as a national securities exchange in connection with its operation of a single shared order book along with Bittrex. So many of you may recall, we talked about the news of Bittrex leaving the United States. It was about like 3 weeks ago because they were saying of regulatory uncertainty. And all of a sudden, the SEC is dropping this lawsuit. We've been talking about it for a long time, and that is everything's on the table. Gary Gensler is a tyrant. He's attacking this industry. Part of the strategy is, of course, to slow it down, put up roadblocks so the big incumbents can catch up and take positions in the market. And notice he's going after all the crypto startups, right? Your Coinbases, Bittrex, BlockFi, Gemini, you just go down the list. But notice, what did Gary not do? He did not stop Celsius. He did not stop FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, 3 Hours Capital, Terra Luna. He let those things happen under his watch, let the market take the hit, right? But he's going after the legit and actors, the ones who are, many of them are regulated. They're trying to do the right things. This is all part of his strategy. And he tweeted out today saying, today's action yet again makes plain that the crypto markets suffer from lack of regulatory compliance, not a lack of regulatory clarity. Complete lies, right? Because even there's members of the SEC like Hester Peirce and Mark Ueda who are dissenting from all these things, saying, hey, this is not the way. You have not put out clear guidance. Companies cannot easily come in and register. It's all a farce, all nonsense that this clown, Gary Gensler, is putting out there. This is why I've been saying for a long time now, we got to fight. We got to contact our representatives. We got to make content. We got to tweet. We have to fight because we are seeing a big time pushback and multiple government agencies are behind us with Operation Choke Point. Now, the other layer to this, folks, which I think is even worse, it's not that they're going after Bittrex alone, but in the lawsuit, the shady activity, the corruptness of Gary Gensler and the SEC, they snuck in some coins in there saying they're securities. So the SEC names ALGO, Dash, and other tokens in the Bittrex lawsuit. He names them as securities. So a total of 6 coins. And let me give you the full list. Dash, Algorand, Omisigo, TKN, NGC, and IHT. So, folks, just 6? Really? But this is the sneaky way, right? They don't go and litigate each coin and say, hey, Dash, here's your setup. Here's what's happening. Kind of what they did to Ripple. They went and sued Ripple specifically about XRP. They're not doing that now. They're going after these exchanges and platforms, and then they'll throw in a bunch of coins and say, yes, these are securities. This is, And what happens if these platforms don't fight back, right? If they just settle, then the SEC just takes that and says, see, they agreed it's all securities, but they didn't actually litigate the tokens. So you see this sneaky angle they're using here, folks. It's unbelievable that this is a government agency. Very, very sneaky. And, the big one here, I think, which hurts a lot, is Algorand. I'm a big believer in Algorand. I stake Algorand. I believe in Algorand as a project. It's one of my holdings, of course. And the fact that they're getting hit, boy, this is tough. This is a tough one. And this is why I've been saying everything's on the list. Cardano, HBAR, it doesn't matter what you hold. They will go after everything. And we're seeing that videos are circulating on Twitter of Gary Gensler promoting Algorand. So remember, he understands his technology. And at MIT, he was teaching it. And of course, he was talking about the need for regulatory clarity back then. Then he becomes SEC chair. Now he's saying there's no need for regulatory clarity. But that's because that seat, the chairman of the SEC, is beholden to the incumbents, right? The JP Morgans, the Goldman Sachs. Unfortunately, that's how the government works, but it shouldn't be that way. So I've been saying for a while, the SEC is rotten at its core. And even yesterday, we reported on the news that Congressman Warren Davidson is going to introduce the bill, or he is going to introduce a bill, which would replace the chairman's seat with an executive director that reports to a board, and the board has the authority. So that will help eliminate at least a lot of the corruption, right, guys? So in the video, I'm going to play a clip for you. He essentially said Silvio Michalis, who's the founder of Algorand, he's a Turing Award winner at MIT I work with. Silvio's got a great technology. It has performance. You could create Uber on top of it. And Mike Dudas of the block here said, hey, Algorand promoter and SEC chairman Gary Gensler. So let me play the clip for you guys.
Governance is tough. You could create Uber or Lyft on top of a blockchain technology today. Well, maybe in 5 years you could. It would have the performance. Silvio Michalis, Algorand, who's a Turing Award winner at MIT that I work with. Silvio's got a great technology that has the performance. You could create Uber on top of it. The question is then, who would update the software?
So as you can see, this scumbag corrupt regulator was going around promoting Algorand, talking about how great it is. You can build Uber on it, blah, blah, blah. And then now he's turning around suing it, saying it's not suing it directly, indirectly, saying it's a security. Unbelievable, guys. This is the nonsense we're dealing with here in the United States. And Jeremy Hogan, attorney Jeremy Hogan, retweeted Bittrex's statement today, and he called out the following items from their letter, saying, on multiple occasions, we, Bittrex, asked the SEC, to tell us what digital assets they viewed as securities. They refuse to do so. So Jeremy says, so the SEC let Bittrex sell unregistered securities for years, and we're still supposed to believe it's all about investor protection? See, folks, the facts don't lie here. We are seeing blatant corruption from this scumbag Gary Gensler, and companies are being forced to leave the United States to shut their doors. But it's not that crypto's dead or crypto's going away. It is the roadblock, the choke, right? That's why it's called Operation Choke Point 2.0, to squeeze out these new startups and crypto companies to let the big players come in. Remember, NASDAQ is scheduled to launch their crypto custody platform by the end of this quarter. Fidelity just launched their crypto trading platform about a month ago, right? Last year, BlackRock entered the market. BNY Mellon, America's oldest bank, launched crypto custody. Not to mention MasterCard, Visa, and these other companies are involved in crypto. So why the juxtaposition, right? Why the dichotomy? You just look at these two things and you're like, huh? Like, that doesn't make sense, right? But it does. These regulators like Gary Gensler are tools that these incumbents are using to squeeze, to roadblock, to slow down, to put out the business so that they can come in and take over. It's a really sad thing. Now, the other interesting part to this, I mentioned Algorand, but Dash, guys, Dash is a proof of work token. It is mined. They are claiming it's a security. I want you to think about that. because the SEC has said Bitcoin is not a security. So this has a lot of people who are like Bitcoin supporters scratching their head. Here's one of them. They said the SEC claims from the time of its offering and continuing through the relevant period, Dash was offered and sold as an investment contract and therefore a security. Why is this important? Like Bitcoin, there is no pre-mine. Initial distribution was in the form of reward to miners. Now, I tweeted out that Bitcoin maxis, if you think Gary Gensler is not going to come after Bitcoin as a security, then your head is stuck straight up your ass and you're in for a rude awakening. And some people are like, well, wait, Bitcoin has no CEO. Bitcoin has no company. He will go after the miners, especially if their miners are pooled together and they control a high percentage of the hash rate, especially if it goes over 50%. So make no mistake about it. He would do that because, as you can imagine, BlackRock wants to mine Bitcoin. We know Fidelity's been mining Bitcoin for a while. So I'm just saying these things. Once again, it's not that crypto's dead or it's going away. It's just we're in for some rough waters and everything's on the table. So the user Kaleo on Twitter said, so if there is no pre-mine / pre-sale / ICO, what is the SEC using as justification? He said here that the purchasers of Dash invested in a common enterprise in the form of supporting the Dash control group. So even though no one centralized group's masternode governance, the SEC is claiming that because of all the masternodes are voting to fund the Dash control group, they are, as a common enterprise, indirectly control the group. And the Dash controls group, or the Dash control group's purpose is to improve the Dash platform and the Dash token, which the SEC claims increases the Dash token's value, thereby benefiting all token holders. So all token holders' fortunes are dependent on the performance of the masternodes and DCG. This is what we're dealing with, folks. Bitcoin, they could easily go after Bitcoin miners. And I'm seeing more and more people are like, what? How can they say this about Dash? There's no pre-mine. It's a proof of work. That don't matter. If the SEC wants everything, wake up, Bitcoin maxis. They're coming after everything. We need to work together to fight against this tyrant, Gary Gensler. Now, tomorrow, Gary, of course, will be testifying at 10 a.m. Eastern with the House Financial Committee Services. And I'm hoping my friends Tom Emmer, Patrick McHenry, Bill Huizenga, and the others hold him accountable. I hope they take action and cut off his funding, do what they need to do. I have some interviews scheduled with Tom Emmer. The other, I'm going to interview Huizenga as well. We need action. I respect those gentlemen. And I'm hoping they can take action here. I know there's a process to this, so we have to give them time. But let's see what happens tomorrow. They got to hold him accountable. And the other thing too, Gary today went on a full-on PR content blast because he's trying to get ahead of the grilling that's going to happen tomorrow. He knows he's on the hot seat. So he's trying to change the narrative. He put out a lot of content today talking about the enforcement actions. They've done 1,500 enforcement actions and overseen tens of thousands of registrants and blah, blah, blah. So lots of content. He also mentioned they have appointed a inspector general at the SEC who will start May 7th. So see what's happening here, guys. All of a sudden, this content blast ahead of his hearing tomorrow, and don't be surprised if he goes on CNBC later this week or next week, once again to try to change the narrative to distract from him not doing his job. So this is what we're up against, folks. Straight up corruption. Now, in addition to the SEC, New York attorneys to collect more fees from the crypto companies. New York's BitLicense, which is, by the way, garbage, they should get rid of it. BitLicense holders are subject to the new regulatory framework. As mentioned, New York should get rid of this, but the New York regulators have been working with the SEC. We saw with Paxos and BUSD and much more. So the regulation will give the department new authority to collect supervisory costs from licensed virtual currency businesses under a provision in New York's fiscal year 2023 budget, according to the press release. As of 2020, just 25 companies held a BIT license, including Circle, Coinbase, Ripple, and Square. Blockworks also reported that the costs associated with obtaining the license can be upwards of $100,000 per the Capital Fund Law Group. DFS Superintendent Adrian Harris touted New York's regulatory framework for digital assets and said her office has its eyes on the future developments in the virtual currency. Here's a quote. This regulation provides the department with additional tools and resources to regulate the virtual currency industry now and in the future as innovators create new products and use cases for digital assets, Harris said in a statement. So, of course, they're going to try to squeeze crypto companies for more money, more fees. This is not too bad. You know, the BIT license in itself is just garbage. They should get rid of that. But they're going to use it to now squeeze crypto companies and shake them down for more money, guys. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong tweeted out today, great meeting today with the UK Economic Secretary and City Minister. His name is Andrew Griffith, and he says the UK is moving fast on sensible crypto regulation to both drive economic growth and consumer protection. Excited to keep investing in the UK, and he posted a photo of him and the city minister. So UK, EU, other countries are moving ahead with clear regulations, clear guidance, no nonsense and bureaucracy. It's just a sad day for the United States. And even Raoul Pal, macro investor, retweeted Brian and said, something I've been saying, the US's loss will be the UK's gain. It has always been thus in the financial markets. Yep. This is why, guys, I've been saying to, this rally that we're having right now, and I know we have a slight pullback right now, but take profits where you can. I'm not saying sell all your crypto. I am not selling all my crypto. I'm just saying take some money off the table just because, the next year or so might be really rough waters. And until maybe with the next bull market of 2025, right? So just be prepared. Once again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving a suggestion. It's up to you to do your research and make your own decisions and form your own conclusions. Now, here's another example of other countries moving ahead. Kingdom of Bhutan's sovereign wealth fund is investing millions in Bitcoin. This is being reported by Forbes. The Himalayan kingdom has quietly been dumping millions of dollars into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Its investments, which have never been publicly disclosed, were revealed in the bankruptcy filings of lenders BlockFi and Celsius. So they've been holding a lot of crypto, apparently. And I believe Bhutan, if I'm not mistaken, they're one of the folks who are working with Ripple to mint as stablecoin, national stablecoin on the XRP ledger. So different countries around the world are embracing crypto with proper regulations, investments, and adopting the technology. While here in the United States, we are dealing with a scumbag clown, Gary Gensler. Folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below, and I'll talk to you all later.